Before this was advice, it was survival. Before it sounded wise, it was necessary. Before anyone wrote it down, someone had to live it. Epictetus was born a slave. That means something very specific. He didn't choose when he woke up. He didn't choose what he worked on. He didn't choose where he went. Most of us struggle when things feel unfair for a week. This was his entire life. If anyone had a reason to say, "I'll try when things improve," it was him. But waiting wasn't an option. So he did something most people never have to do. He changed where control lived. When you can't control what happens to you, you either fall apart, or you decide that freedom has to mean something else. For Epictetus, freedom stopped being about circumstances. It became about response. That wasn't optimism. It wasn't motivation. It was pressure. If he didn't find something he could control, his mind would be destroyed by what he couldn't. This is where his idea of discipline comes from. Not from ambition, not from success. From asking one hard question: what still listens to me? The answer was smaller than most people want. Your mood doesn't listen to you. Your motivation doesn't listen to you. Other people definitely don't listen to you. Results don't listen to you either. If you wait for any of those before acting, you'll wait forever. Epictetus learned that the hard way. What does listen to you is limited. When you wake up, when you begin. One thing you decide to do today, that's it. Not how you feel about it. Not whether it feels meaningful. Not whether it works out. Discipline for him wasn't about progress. It was about order. This is the part that sounds calm but feels uncomfortable, because once you accept this, you lose a comforting story. The story that says, "I'll start when I feel ready." Epictetus didn't believe readiness mattered, only action did. So instead of building his life around feelings, he fixed a few simple points. A time to wake up, a time to begin, one thing that had to get done, even badly. No debate, no drama. This wasn't about becoming impressive. It was about not falling apart. But here's the part people don't like to talk about. This kind of discipline costs something. When you stop expecting life to feel fair, you also lose the right to complain. When you train yourself not to feel wronged, you also stop listening to anger. Epictetus became incredibly steady. But steadiness can create distance. Distance from emotion. Distance from protest. Distance from softness. The discipline worked, but it shaped the man who lived inside it. Over time, Epictetus earned something rare: inner stability. He became so steady that even powerful people sought his advice. He went from slave to one of the most respected teachers in the ancient world. Not because his life became easy, but because he became unshakable. And here's the rule that carried him there. When you demand discipline from things you don't control, you lose. When you build discipline only on what obeys you, it survives anything. Now, bring this back to today. We're not enslaved, but we are distracted, inconsistent, tired of starting and stopping. Every January, we set goals, and by the end of the month, motivation fades. That's the modern version of the same problem. Epictetus doesn't solve it with hype. He solves it by removing confusion. He reminds us that motivation was never the foundation, structure was. When motivation fails, and it always does, discipline doesn't return through effort. It returns through structure. Simple structure, boring structure, reliable structure, the kind that works even on bad days. This was the first episode in a 5-part series on Epictetus and discipline. We've looked at how structure holds when motivation fails. Next, we'll look at what happens when discipline doesn't just shape what you do, but starts shaping what you want. I'll see you in the next episode. I've taken Epictetus's solution and turned it into a single page. A discipline map. You print it, you keep it somewhere you'll see it. And when motivation fades or the day feels unstructured, The map gives you one clear instruction. Stop reacting. Act only on what you control when you begin and the one action you choose to complete. It's free. It's linked below.